Rustin, what do you see for Alabama this year?
So I love that we're doing this because I think there's some fascinating storylines embedded all throughout these schedules. I've got Alabama going 11-1. I think they lose to Tennessee but win out. There's a few interesting games on there. They have to go to Texas A&M, and Jimbo Fisher has always seemed to have something special for Nick Saban. So that could be an interesting one, but honestly, I think if you look at Alabama's schedule, it's not overly imposing.
Agreed.
Their hardest games they all get at home. I
Bingo.
do think Tennessee has something that Nick Saban still has not figured out. It dates all the way back to Hugh Freeze. I just don't think Nick Saban has ever figured out how to attack somebody who doesn't give him a chance to adjust. And so I think Tennessee beats them, but I think they get LSU at home. I'm a little skeptical of Jaden Daniels in big games. So I think Nick Saban can probably dial up some things for him. But if you look at the rest of their schedule, there's not a whole lot of difficulty there. And
Totally
and
agree.
so I think 11-1 with a loss to Tennessee.
So Rustin says 11-1 overall, 7-1 in the SEC. My prediction, I think this is a revenge year for Alabama because if you'll recall in the national championship game last year, David Pollock mentioned to Nick Saban on national television to his face that Georgia has taken over college football. And I think he's going to use that as fuel all season long. I also have them going 11-1, but I have them going 8-0 in the SEC. I think they're going to have one loss to Texas near the beginning of the year. If we all remember last year, they just barely snuck by Texas at Texas. And if Quinn Ewers hadn't gotten hurt, Texas probably would have won that game. Well, this year it's early in the season, so there still could be some quarterback, unsettledness going on there. And I think personally, I think Texas is going to sneak up and beat them. And then Nick Saban is going to use that as fuel for the rest of the season, and they will not lose again the rest of the season. I think that Tennessee coming in after losing this year to Tennessee at Neyland, I think Bama like just like we got South Carolina circled on our calendar, I think they got that one circled. So I have Alabama going 11-1, but 8-0 in the SEC. Mr. Jones agreed with you, Rustin. He said Heupel is the Saban Slayer. Mr. Jones said they're going 0-12.
Fair and balanced.
I like it. Yeah, I like that. Zach said, I believe Bama's going 10-2 with losses to Tennessee and Ole Miss. I think that's actually legit. That could happen. That could totally happen. Well, I agree, Mr. Jones. He said Tennessee has Bama circled on our calendar. I totally agree with you. Absolutely. Now, it's interesting what you mentioned, though, before we move on, Rustin, about Alabama. For Tennessee fans, we love even numbered years in the calendar because on like 2022, 2020, well, not 2020, but 2018, 2016, because those years we get Alabama and Florida at home. On odd number years, we have to go to Alabama and Florida and we get Georgia at home. So I was wondering, as I looked through Alabama's schedule here, look at all of their games that are at home. They get Texas at home, Ole Miss at home, Mississippi State at home, Arkansas at home, Tennessee at home, LSU at home. Like they get all these difficult games, apart from, no, they actually have to go to Mississippi State. So their home games are Texas, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Tennessee, and LSU. The most difficult opponents on their schedule are all at home, with the exception of Texas A&M. That is an extremely favorable schedule. Extremely favorable. So I just got to wondering. I was like, you know what? I wonder how that's played out in the past. Alabama's won 6 national championships under Nick Saban. 4 of them have been in odd number years: 2009, 2011, 2015, and 2017. So no wonder that has been the case because they get all of those teams at home during those years. And I think this is going to set up really well for them again this year. Mr. Jones said, even on Saturday, Sunday, it don't matter. Vols by 50. I love it. That's right. Absolutely. So I think, that might explain some success that Alabama's had on odd number years. I think they look forward to odd number years just like Tennessee looks forward to even number years. Now, sadly, this is the last year that we're ever going to be able to say that because, next year, everything changes. So I hope, if Alabama fans are watching this, for y'all's sake, I hope you take advantage of this season because next year is going to be much different. Their schedule is way more difficult next year.